you for a second. You said that a lot of women would identify with this.
The anxious.
The anxious attachment style. Now, it sounds like to me that that might be the truth, that might be what's really happening, but are they aware that that's what they're experiencing? Are people aware that they are, quote unquote, or they feel like they're not worthy? Do they know this?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
See, this is, and I want to go to the other attachment styles too, but a lot of women are stuck in a conundrum where they feel like, I'm a good woman, so why wouldn't a man want to be with me? What's wrong with these men? I'm a good woman. They want to be with this hoe or this type of woman over here or whatever, but what about me? I'm worthy of love, right? What is wrong with them?
Yes.
And at the same time, they feel unworthy of love. And it's a conundrum that they have an issue with. It's kind of a dichotomy.
Yes.
So the next attachment style is what a lot of men are. And men and women can be these attachment styles. The next one is avoidant attachment style. That is positive self, negative other.
Okay.
And that is the type of person that feels like, I'm smarter than everybody, which can be women also. You know, I know everything. And all these other people are stupid. All these other people are narcissists. All these other people are misogynists. All these other people are unworthy of me because I am better than everybody else, right? So in a lot of cases, the avoidant attachment style would get with a woman as a man, right? And feel like she's unworthy of him, right? So he'll date her and things are going great. And at some point, he'll end up pulling away because he doesn't want to lose his own freedom or like autonomy just as this amazing person. Because he'll look at her as she's weighing me down.
Okay.
You know, like the word settle down is usually a thought process where it's like settling as in bad, right?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So a man is like, yeah, I don't really want to settle down. So a lot of men are the avoidant attachment style. And the avoidant attachment style would get with an anxious attachment style and have this back and forth situation that actually feels good to both of them. Do you know why though?
Why?
Because it actually confirms their own existence as being that attachment style.
Understood.
The anxious attachment style, the guy's going after her, right? And she's like, oh my God, this feels good. And then the avoidant attachment style at some point will start avoiding when she starts feeling him back.
Right.
And he starts pulling away and she's like, why don't you want me?
Right.
And she's like, ooh, I knew it.
Yes.
This is confirmation that I'm unworthy of love.
Yes.
So she starts arguing with him about how unworthy she is of love to get him to what? Talk her out of it.
Right.
Yo, I do want you. We'll act like it.
So it ends up being a toxic cycle.
Yes.
Understood.
And then he goes back. And then at some point he goes, you know, and then it becomes this dysfunctional cycle. And then the last one is the disorganized attachment style. That means you have a negative way of looking at yourself and you have a negative way of looking at other people.
Understood.
And that's when people get in abusive relationships.
Understood.
The dude be fighting the woman be fighting the dude, and they can't get away from each other.
Understood.
Yeah.
So a lot of what you mentioned seems like it roots from childhood. So can you share with us how childhood trauma negatively impacts the dating experience for women?
Okay, so I didn't come up with these attachment styles. A man named Bowlby, you can look that up, who actually did experiments with babies, right? So a mother would bring a baby into a room, give the baby all kinds of toys, and she'll walk out of the room, right? And the child, depending on what type of attachment style they already have after a certain amount of experience with the mom, the child would either act a fool because mom left or not care that mom left and would use the toys as a coping mechanism for her mother or his mother leaving because you're like, I'm sick of my mom leaving. I'm going to utilize this coping mechanism, which is the toys, to make me feel worthy of somebody being around me. And a lot of women sadly use toys as children. Amanda, she has an understanding, or in her mind, she has an understanding that none of these men are going to stay. All these men just want sex. But if I have a baby by that man, now I have somebody that will stay in the room with me instead of leaving and coming and leaving and coming,
Right.
because this baby is always going to be here for me. So as a child, it's the toy, but as a grown woman, sadly, sometimes is a baby.
Understood. Now, how does this manifest for men then? What does it look like? What are the childhood traumas that are associated with men that cause dating to be more difficult than what it needs to be?
That's the reason why I say most men are avoiding attachment styles, even though women can be avoiding attachment styles also, because we get to a point where, like, a lot of us didn't have our dads around, right? So in a lot of cases, the person that looked like us is the person that abandoned us or never was around. See, women have the person that looked like them walking around the house every day.
Right.
We start off at an early age with a feeling of, "Nah, I don't care," because the person that looks like us walked out the door. The person that don't look like us stayed.
Yes.
So we have a bond with our mother, right? Our mother has a bond with us, but a person that looks like us is gone. So we're just like me against the world, Tupac.
Understood.